There's new allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Texas attorney says he now represents, get this, 120 alleged victims, male and female.
Irv, that's not a flex. Bragging about Lucien Grange hooking you up don't look so good right now, do it? That ain't aging all that well. Because everybody know that Lucien has been Diddy and Deshaun Carter. They sugar baby.
Gotti was entwined with Diddy. He's one of Diddy boys. He's big time in that ring with bad boys. Isn't it ironic that this month and next month they're gonna start releasing names? Who else was involved with Diddy?
Courtroom chaos in this case goes far beyond legal strategies. It's a cultural flashpoint where power, celebrity, and accountability collide, turning the entire ordeal into a gripping public spectacle. With every new revelation, leaked conversation, or unexpected twist, the world watches with relentless scrutiny, dissecting every detail under an unyielding public microscope. The stakes are immense, not just for Diddy's reputation, but for the broader entertainment industry. This trial isn't just about one man's fate. It's a potential turning point that could reshape Hollywood's power structure, redefining what it truly means to be influential and accountable in an era where no one is above public scrutiny.
I love Puff. Yeah. He can do drugs. Whoa. Oh yeah. He done hit me with a Jeffrey one time. That Jeffrey.
You have to take a hit of this Jeffrey. It'll calm you down.
Yeah, I smoked with Puff. I was like,
So soft.
We were seeing things.
I just got a business idea. Chocolate eggplant.
And I said, word to mom, I was like, you don't think this nigga hit us with Jeffrey?
I swear to God.
It's all good, Puff. You can hit me with the Jeffrey.
I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life. And he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges. We know what the charges are going to be without seeing the indictment. It's going to be racketeering. It's going to be trafficking. It's going to be things along those lines. This is what we've been expecting since the searches in March. He, to his great credit, he voluntarily came to New York. Not a lot of defendants do that. He came to New York to basically engage the court system and start the case, and it'll start to...
Irv Gotti's testimony was one of the most awaited moments in this case. As a major player in the music industry with deep connections to some of the biggest names, including Diddy, his words carried serious weight. When he took the stand, Gotti didn't hold back. He shared key insights that could play a pivotal role in shaping the outcome, details that might have a major impact on Diddy's defense. What he revealed could change everything.
Hov is Hov. Don't get it. Hov don't need nobody. Once Hov got on, he was the guy I would be like, he didn't need nobody. Like X needed people around him to help him. Ja needed me to help him. Hov, once he got on, he didn't need nobody. He could do it all himself. He'll pick the beats, fuck with the producer. He didn't need no.
There's ways to manipulate numbers in hip hop or in music, period, and they know how to do
numbers.
it.
It's all
no, but they know how to manipulate it. Meaning, they know how to buy records. They know how to do things like that to get your numbers up high. And they did it with fucking Music Soul Child. They'll never sit there and say it, but the facts is the facts. So it's all good.
And it's,
you know, everybody's forgetting how he sat there and slut shamed the shit out of Ashanti.
He did.
And then talked about that music and then bragged about how he sold all of their publishing rights to that weirdo vampire, Lucien Grange. And he said there, I don't have to worry about BET because, you know, see, I know people like Lucien Grange. So did Diddy. He f***ed Diddy. Did he f*** you too? Like, it's just...
Man. Straight off the back like that. Yeah. Throwing around some big names there. Whoa. Jaguar right. These are not my words. I am not telling you the story.
The music industry was forever changed by the presence of Irv Gotti, whose birth name was Irving Lorenzo. He endured a difficult childhood after being born in Hollis, Queens. In spite of everything, he became a hip-hop enthusiast, learned to DJ, and started making beats.
Rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it.
But that line, die enormous and live dormant. This how we on it. Living the American dream with a vengeance. I'm gonna get it. I don't give. I'm gonna get it.
And you gotta understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You gotta also look at that. You have to look at that. You gotta look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always a totem pole, even from our schools, our roads to...
I know that he's into saving the youth as well, and I've seen him with his children playing board games and enjoying himself and just enjoying life. And he's one of us. He went up against the federal government and he beat them. He's one of them that could say he beat them, and it ain't a handful that could say that they beat the federal government.
Irv Gotti, the legendary music executive and co-founder of Murder Inc. Records, has tragically passed away on February 5th, 2025, at just 54 years old. His family confirmed the heartbreaking news on social media, sending shockwaves through the hip-hop world. Fans, friends, and artists who admired his contributions to the industry are mourning this profound loss. Though an official cause has yet to be revealed, reports suggest that Gotti had been battling heart-related complications and had suffered multiple strokes in recent years. His health struggles had been a growing concern, making this news even more devastating for those who knew and loved him.
Gotti, a huge music producer, died at the age of 54 this week. He worked with some of the biggest people in the music industry like DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti. He, I guess, passed away on Wednesday in New York City. It's at this time, while I'm recording, not really sure how he died. We do know that he had a lot of medical issues that he suffered with over the years, had a lot of health problems. He suffered a stroke last year. He was walking with the aid of a cane. He had been very open with his struggles with diabetes. He wasn't consistent with taking his insulin. He admitted to that. And that, his doctors had encouraged him to change his diet, which he also struggled to do. So we'll see if that played a factor in his death. But a lot of people obviously speaking out about it. He also worked with Jay-Z on his debut album. I mean, just a really big deal in the music industry. You probably know his name. Vanessa Carlton worked with him to produce her big album back in 2007, Heroes and Thieves. So everyone kind of knew who he was. He had left a lasting impression on the music industry, but he passed away at...
Tributes pouring in today for a hip-hop pioneer. Irv Gotti, the founder of Murder Inc. Records, has died. He's just 54 years old.
Gotti, whose real name is Irving Lorenzo, founded the label with his brother in the late 1990s. Over the years, he worked with top artists and helped launch the careers of many, including Ja Rule and Ashanti. His family says he died yesterday, surrounded by family and friends.
New this morning, Irv Gotti, a Queens native and founder of Murder Records, has died. The mogul's real name, Irving Lorenzo Jr. His cause of death has not been released, but the music mogul did suffer a stroke last year and had long battled diabetes-related issues. Irv Gotti was a noted record executive, music producer, and entrepreneur. He rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s while working with artists including Ja Rule, Ashanti, and DMX. Irv Gotti was 54.
Gotti has been outspoken about the urgent need to shield young artists from the traps of streaming exploitation. Teaming up with industry heavyweights like Suge Knight, Jay Prince, and Dame Dash, he has been a strong advocate for change, pushing for the establishment of an artist union. Their mission? to secure fair pay and improved working conditions for musicians navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. In an industry where artists often get the short end of the stick, this movement aims to level the playing field, ensuring that creativity and hard work are properly rewarded.
Suge Knight was trying to meet up with Dame Dash, Irv Gotti, Jay Prince. They was trying to get a distribution company.
It wasn't a distribution.
It was a union. Honestly, it was all Suge's idea.
It was all his plan, and it was a hell of a plan, man. He was like, yo, we get all the artists together. And he wasn't just talking about hip-hop, every artist in general. And he was like, okay, say you got $1 million budget.
So instead of $1 million, you'd have $1.1 million with $100,000 going to the union.
Now, this will all get recouped back to the artist. It'll go towards an annuity. It'll go towards a retirement fund.
And it was easy metrics because instead of you recouping $1 million, you recoup $1.1 million.
Someone left that meeting talking about our movement. Unfortunately, the feds hit all of us at the same time, which I don't think was a coincidence.
Jay went and told. He went and told. He blew the spot up. Feds came in and started hitting niggas with cases because they all said, yo, we gonna put our money together. Now think about it now, how everybody get robbed off the stream.
So I was watching A&E, and it was Gangster Week. And lo and behold, today's episode is on Albert Anastasia and the notorious Murder Incorporated. Murder Inc. came across the TV, riddled with bullets. I start screaming, that's it. I'm going crazy in my house. Like, just imagine me by myself in my boxers and a t-shirt. That's it. Because at the time, the two biggest labels was Death Row and Bad Boy. So Death Row had, the Death Row, and they used to call their artists Death Row Inmate.
Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy, recently dropped a bombshell, claiming that Diddy tipped off authorities about a major move by Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince. According to Deal, these industry heavyweights were planning to launch a music distribution company and maybe even a union. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the music world, sparking intense debate and speculation. Could this be the reason certain power players in hip-hop faced so many obstacles? And if true, what does this say about the industry's behind-the-scenes power struggles? Let's break it all down.
Well, I actually thought it was either a distribution or some kind of publishing company. But I heard Irv Gotti speak on this. But way back then, I was told it was a distribution of some kind of publishing company that he was doing. But I guess Irv would know more than I knew. But they were talking about Suge Knight was trying to form a union. That's what he was saying. But back in the day, people thought it was a distribution where blacks would distribute their own music through, distribute their own music and stuff like that. So that's what we thought it was back then. But it was truth behind the fact that it was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those folks and let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. And so that's how all those other labels got raided. What you call that? Rap-A-Lot, Rockefeller got on the list. And Rockefeller got on the list because of the fact that Dame and Jaden was breaking up anyway.
These are still just allegations. Nothing has been confirmed by Diddy or any of the individuals involved. However, the situation has undeniably stirred up even more drama, adding another layer of controversy to the already complicated dynamics within the hip-hop world.
Got out and they got back, and the feds got on it because that's what those people are gonna do. Those people are not gonna give up their stuff like that, man. They've been holding rap hostage for years. Rap has been controlled by the, you're not gonna say this, and you're gonna beat this out, but it's been the record labels that were.
The speculation surrounding Diddy's potential involvement in the tragic passing of Irv Gotti has sent shockwaves through the industry, fueling heated debates among insiders. Many point to Gotti's outspoken nature and his relentless criticism of Diddy's alleged questionable business dealings as the source of their long-standing tension. Known for his unfiltered opinions, Gotti never hesitated to call out industry giants, frequently using interviews and social media as his platform to voice his frustrations. One of his most talked about interviews saw him directly taking aim at Diddy, accusing him of manipulating artists and orchestrating unethical business moves that put profits over people. Now, in 2025, these tensions have resurfaced in ways no one could have predicted.
2025, Irv Gotti have several strokes and his family going to the hospital to say goodbye. It's not adding up to me. It seems like everybody that come around Diddy dies. Now Diddy in jail. So Diddy didn't do this. So who out here working with Diddy? Who else got something to lose? Maybe Oprah, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Clyde Davis, Lucian Granger, Usher.
Did he not? I know he has the money. Why is everybody that don't need Ozempic actually have it and the people that actually need Ozempic are not getting it? Is there some type of situation? Also, do you had money access for private chefs, private cooks? And somebody you don't even need to do. You could hire somebody full-time to go around with you and give you the insulin when you needed it. Moreover, there are a lot of studies, not even studies, proof, overseas and even in America, I think even Harvard University Medical School acknowledged that type 2 diabetes can now be cured with diet and exercise. Now, I don't know if he was so far gone that it couldn't help, but he was definitely in the situation that his money could afford to make sure he lived the healthiest lifestyle.
The well-known attorney who was representing Combs in the case of Diddy, Mark Agnifilo, decided to step away from it in light of the strong accusations leveled by Gotti. Notable for his vast background in contentious cases, Agnifilo had played a pivotal role in Diddy's defense, with Keith Raniere of Noxivem being his most notable client. The proposal of a plea bargain was strongly rejected by him and Diddy. They insisted that Diddy was innocent and would fight the charges in court, even though they were under heavy media scrutiny and faced multiple allegations of trafficking and racketeering.
Legal team requests that Diddy be transferred to a different jail in New Jersey. And the point person behind that request and Diddy's team is defense attorney Mark Agnifilo. If that name is familiar to you, it may be because you've heard it before. He's repped several high-profile defendants, like the NXIVM cult leader Keith Raniere and Roger Ng, a former Goldman Sachs banker convicted of bribery and money laundering. We'll get to those cases in a second, but first, a bit about Agnifilo's history. He received a bachelor's degree in philosophy and political science from Connecticut College in 1986. In 1990, he received his Juris degree from Brooklyn Law School, and while there, even received the American Jurisprudence Award for Outstanding Performance in Trial Advocacy.
Among the charges are alarming claims, such as that of a lady who claimed Diddy misconducted her in February 2004, when she was a 19-year-old college student. A disturbing case also revolves on a 10-year-old boy who asserts that he was coerced into engaging in indecent behavior while under the influence of alcohol. Based on what Busby has said, these rumors depict a dark picture of the party culture that supposedly Diddy encouraged.
Rachel Kennedy claims the footage was playing on a continuous loop in Diddy's Tokyo hotel room during the 2000 interaction, and further alleged that the rapper was on the phone with J-Lo, whom he was dating at the time. Rachel said on the Daily Mail's The Trial of Diddy podcast that she found the entire situation quite odd and further described it as creepy and disrespectful. Rachel and her two friends had been invited to Diddy's room for a party after meeting him at a topless club in Japan. She and her friends were expecting to just attend a party, but Diddy was alone in his room when they arrived. She claims they then engaged in a consensual encounter. Jennifer Lopez has yet to comment on Diddy's legal trouble.
You freeze. You're in shock. I mean, children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff. I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them.
The sheer scale of the allegations against Diddy has left his legal team scurrying to confront what they see as a reckless media circus. However, the figures hint to a broader pattern of alleged misconduct, a story that Busby has effectively presented in prior high-profile instances, such as those involving American football star Deshaun Watson and the Boy Scouts of America.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names. And you might imagine in situations like this, that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public. And, when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. And I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
By now you may have heard the news that Jay-Z has been named in a recent Diddy lawsuit from Tony Busby. In that lawsuit, it's accusing Jay-Z of being one of the male celebrities that R'd a 13-year-old girl. Well, Jay-Z responded, and we did a separate video talking about that, so check out that video. Well, now Tony Busby is responding and basically saying that Jay-Z was the high-profile celebrity that was recently suing him. So Tony Busby says this in a statement: regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed this frivolous case using a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. What would be the result of that mediation? Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. As far as allegations in the complaint filed, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not in the media.
Tony Busby, known for his aggressive legal techniques, has been at the forefront of this issue, claiming that the possible number of civil legal cases against Diddy might exceed 300. His team has apparently received over 3,000 calls since his October news appearance. After considerable vetting, Busby feels that roughly 100 to 150 cases may feasibly be pursued. These allegations, spanning over 20 years, involve both men and women with charges of terrible crimes such as misbehavior, smart intoxicating, and trafficking.
Where, first we have Tony Busby, who was sued for extortion. Then we have Busby suing back, also claiming harassment. And then we figure out that Jay-Z is somehow involved in all of this in a way, allegedly. What do you make of that?
Well, this is really taking quite a turn. So what you have here now are 3 additional parties in what was really a prosecution of Sean Combs and a bunch of civil cases against Sean Combs. So now you add to that Tony Busby, who's a very prominent lawyer. He's been down this road before. He was down this road with Deshaun Watson, so he's used to this kind of case, and by all appearances, he's good at it.
Yeah, Rashi, attorney Tony Busby says he's been contacted by 3,285 people who say they are victims of Sean Combs. And after some vetting, Busby says he now represents 120 of those people who will file civil lawsuits against P. Diddy. And that number includes 60 men and 60 women, and also include 25 children. Now, I will tell you, some of these accusations are pretty disturbing.
There's new allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Texas attorney says he now represents, get this, 120 alleged victims, male and female, adults and children, whose allegations span more than 30 years. The accounts of the alleged victims have not been fully vetted, but their claims involve drug-fueled assaults similar to what the feds described in their criminal indictment of the music mogul. Diddy's currently sitting in a federal jail awaiting trial on trafficking.
You can seek redress You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now.
The legal team is working tirelessly to combat significant allegations that carry a potential life sentence. They are defending themselves against the seriousness of the accusations after entering 2 not guilty pleas. Prominent lawyer Mark Agnifilo, who is known for taking on challenging cases, is leading his defense.
These lawyers were so eager to keep him out of jail, they offered his palatial $48 million home in Miami Beach and his private jets as bail. Today, they are even offering to restrict female visitors to his homes, except for his mother, daughters, and the mothers of his children if he is released. They told the judge the jail he was being sent to is dreadful, dirty, inhuman, and an ongoing tragedy.
How's your dad doing? How's your dad doing?
Family members appeared somber as they arrived at federal court in Manhattan today in another attempt to get out on bail.
In your opinion, did Diddy's attorney leave the courtroom following Irv Gotti's testimony? Post your ideas and opinions in the space provided below.